There was a brief trend in the 1980s of remaking classic sci-fi films from the 50s with the better creature effects of the 80s. The Thing, The Fly, The Blob, and this film, Not of This Earth.
What?
Oh yeah, this definitely deserves to be mentioned in the same sentence as those other ones. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Not of This Earth from 1988. This is a remake of the Roger Corman directed picture of the same name from 1957. The script here is nearly identical to the original, so this film, even more than those other three films I mentioned, really is a remake, not a reimagining. That being said, Jim Wynorski did add some Jim Wynorski touches to this.
Who are those gentlemen?
Those aren't gentlemen, those are bums.
Bums?
Ooh.
Why are those women behaving in that manner?
Women, they're not women, boss, they're hookers.
Hookers?
And beyond the recycled script, this film also recycles some scenes from other Roger Corman produced movies, so it's kind of a fun way to test your knowledge of Roger Corman. Let's check it out. We open on a spaceship doing sci-fi stuff, and then a couple in a car. And she quickly loses her shirt, so less than 2 minutes into the movie, we found some stuff that you can't see here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. The man with dark sunglasses chokes the boy out, and after some super advanced special effects, drains the girl's blood. Good thing he was looking for blood and not silicone, because those things were definitely homegrown. Anyway, it looks like we've got a space vampire here, but Matilda May, he is not. Speaking of homegrown. And then, Roger Corman presents Not of This Earth, starring Traci Lords. Heck yes. Hey, and isn't that the alien from Forbidden World? And isn't that a humanoid from the deep? And I know this little guy is from Piranha. Can't forget him, he's the best. Well, it turns out that all of the stuff in the credits is from other Roger Corman produced movies. It even has that infamous bug scene from Galaxy of Terror. Ugh, if you know, you know. Directed by Jim Wynorski, we are in for a treat, people. Credits over, there she is, the lovely Traci Lords. If you're too young to remember, she was one of the biggest adult stars of her era. She was a household name even in Middle America. How many adult stars can say that? Well, to keep a long story short, she had forged her documents and was actually underage in all but one of her movies. So she wasn't really an adult star at all. And when all of this was found out, all of those movies became illegal. It was a big story. Anyway, this movie is her first mainstream role, and the last time she appears nude on film. That part will come later, if you're watching this on Patreon. Here, Traci is a nurse. The sunglasses dude shows up and asks for a blood transfusion. Thanks to some mind control, he gets one. The doctor also assigns Traci to be his at-home nurse. And that night, the sunglasses man goes out and runs across the dog from Humanoids from the Deep. And then we get this longish scene from Humanoids from the Deep, but it's cut in a way to make it look like the glasses dude is the one who's outside peeping and not one of the humanoids. So in a way, this is a cut and paste film. If you want to check out a review of an even crazier cut and paste film, be sure to check out my review of Scorpion Thunderbolt, which I did a short while ago. So we learned that the sunglasses dude is from a race of aliens that is dying, and they need blood. Our alien is researching whether or not human blood can sustain their lives. On her afternoon off, Traci explores the cellar, where she's not supposed to be, and she forgets her glasses down there. Traci keeps snooping, enlisting the help of the alien chauffeur. The alien continues his blood-gathering projects, which at one point will involve bringing those three professionals that we saw earlier back to his house. Can't show you much of that scene, of course, nor can I show you much of the scene of the strippergram that shows up at his house by accident. At a certain point, our alien will be joined by another from his race. She will also need blood, which will mean that she puts on a cape and we get to watch one of the kill scenes from Hollywood Boulevard. In a way, it's kind of impressive how Wynorski used these older movies as part of this one, but since I've seen all of these older Corman films, for me, it was a weird experience. Whenever they popped up, my brain kind of glitched, and I thought, wait a minute, I've seen this before. Why do I not remember the rest of this movie? Oh, that's because this isn't from this movie. It was kind of a weird experience, actually. Well, anyway, that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Traci Lords. She is hot and charming. And as far as former adult stars go, she's not a bad actress. And I'm kind of surprised more adult stars don't turn out to be better at acting. I mean, surely it must be easier to act in a costume rather than in a co-star. The early Jim Wynorski films have a goofy tone that I'm a fan of, and if you, like me, are a fan of The Lost Empire, Chopping Mall, and Deathstalker 2, then you'll like this one as well. It's good for a few laughs. My favorite joke in this film is a good example of an absurdist setup and payoff joke. The setup. Our alien, who doesn't know much about Earth culture, learns what a door-to-door vacuum salesman is. And then later, we get this scene.
Hi, I'm your birthday girl.
You are attempting to sell me a vacuum cleaner?
Brilliant. No notes. There are a number of other funny lines in this movie, but that one really does it for me. It didn't hurt that the strippergram lady was topless and homegrown. As a final little highlight, I thought the alien's eyes looked pretty cool. It's a nice upgrade from the eye effects in the original movie, which I also thought were kinda cool. But despite Traci Lords, the humor, and those Wynorski touches, the movie's not perfect. Like a little paradise by the dashboard lights, this film has some shortcomings. Well, this film does kind of drag at times. The alien's deadpan delivery is funny when he's around humans, but there are times when he talks to this Kmart Zach Galifianakis, and listening to two deadpan aliens talk is pretty boring. Beyond that, and like I mentioned before, if you've seen a lot of Corman films, seeing bits and pieces of them put into this film can be a little jarring. Not as jarring as this guy, but pretty jarring. If you know, you know. This isn't my favorite Roger Corman produced sci-fi romp from this period in his career. That is still Alien Avengers, which I talked about some time ago. But it's still worth watching, and thanks to Traci Lords' inclusion, it's still worth pausing.